Back to on Frozen Pond for round 2 here this week. We move back a tee box to the whites. Winds come down to medium out of the southwest. Fairways firm up. We've got very firm. Green firmness is the same. And the green speed, though fast, is actually slightly slower, but I think should play reasonably the same. I mean, the difference between 155s and 162s, I don't think is all that much. I do not think is all that much. This is downhill with a little bit of wind off of the side. Let's get a nice drive to start here. Thank you guys very, very much for hanging out and watching, sticking with me through this tournament. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Get this ball turning back over to the right a little bit. This feels like almost the exact same spot that we landed it on our first drive of the tournament. A little bit more to the left and shorter, but we are down in the fairway. It's not the greatest of lies, but that's pretty much standard around here, you know? That is pretty much standard around here. Wind's in a little bit. It's not really going to play that much, though, is it? Right? Like, medium winds. Say it's playing 5, like we're uphill, maybe we lose a yard. Bouncing a little bit of roll, so I'm just gonna give it a little bit of breaks here. Hopefully this is enough wind plus lie to put us right in that little, not quite bowl, but little pocket in the back of the green. No, it is not. Underhit it a little bit, too. Wow, that really... Now we're on the other side of this ridge. That ball just shot out even more to the right than I was aimed for. This is incredibly difficult now. Holy... Alright, well... Not exactly what you want to be facing out the gate. But, you know, this is the hand that we have been dealt. So, just try and get out of here with a par. Come back a little bit. Come on. Stay. Stay, 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 stay. Okay, that's a solid lag. That is a solid lag. That's all we can reasonably hope for. That is all we can reasonably hope for there. Alright, going for the slightly aggressive... Oh, no, I guess it's not really aggressive drive if I'm taking 3-wood. The aggressive drive is going to be this one, where we take the driver over the gap, leave ourselves a pitch. Come on, just don't kick straight left into that rough. There we go. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. The more of these shorter distances we can leave ourselves, the better. I think. I mean, obviously, this could backfire. Hey, what's going on, Skamas? How we doing today? Thank you for the continued support. Getting the stream streak going. Nine yards, gap wedge chip. I think we can. I think we're gonna end up having to play this out here, but I think you can get this chip to just run. 35 yards. It's that, or we could... No, with the lie that we're on, the flop shot I don't think is going to be... As I say, we could probably flop it and try and put some spin on, but yeah, we're gonna go with the chip. Little left to right and downhill, but you know what? We're just gonna play it aggro. Like, leave the power out. Just take most of that break out of it. Not the best. You've got COVID. I'm sorry to hear that, man. There's so many people who are sick right now. Whether it be COVID or the flu or just, it's that time of year. I'm very sorry to hear that. Hopefully the recovery goes well for you. A little bit fast. That's going to pose a problem here. I think it'll stop. Even though it's very firm, I think it's going to stop before this. But we do not have the right angle. So now we're going to be playing some sort of shot shape around. Might not be the worst thing, considering that's going to take some distance off. So that'll be interesting. See what we do here. We might end up short, but I'm trying to play a shot that actually gets to that front quadrant. It's gonna kick so hard right though, right? Yeah. There it goes. But like club down, there's just no chance, right? Like I don't think I could ever get a 4-iron. That actually, even though I put the backspin on it, that got way further than anticipated. I have a feeling that that's not really a very reachable spot. So we're gonna chip this because we're outside the 75. We're outside the 75 feet. I think we just play full backspin. I don't want to mess with it too much because if we do, my luck will end up well short and like never getting up there. I think with this, all we have to do is make sure that we get all of this shot. Pull fast. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. I just need to make sure we get 100%. Because if I get less than 100% or we slow it, like I know exactly what's happening, and it doesn't involve any scoring. It involves another very long putt back. Okay, I think we just drive it down here. I think we just drive it down here. Because that pin is all the way in the back right corner. So just get it down as close as you can. 7-iron's gonna be like... Could be one that you try and bounce towards, like bounce and roll towards the back and bring it back around. Otherwise, I don't think the 8 reaches. So we're gonna play that. I'm just gonna try and use the green here. Slowed it. This gets a hard kick to the left, we might still be okay. That did not deserve to go in. Well, we're gonna take it? There was no reason that shot should have ever ended up in the bottom of the cup. Yellow vest would have been in, Joe. Yeah, absolutely, man. It's okay, Brennan. It's okay. All right. So that's uphill more, which means that this is not that much below. But if we take driver, I think we got to take 3-wood. If we take driver, we're in that bunker. We're just kind of shooting the gap here with this 3-wood. Should clear. It's not going to go very far afterwards, but it's pretty certain we're not going to end up in that bunker. If I was wrong, then I was wrong and we looked dumb, but I didn't think it was going to be that bad. Alright, I think if we play... Now, I have some scars from that first hole. So I may be now overcompensating. But we're going to play the lob wedge like this. It's going to land short. We're going to hit that down slope. And then I've got some breaks to try and catch it. I pulled it. Bite. I'm gone. So that pull screws us. Because the pull, now we hit the fairway instead of the green. And the fairway just takes away, like, all of our ability to stop it. So we're going to land it here. Pushed it. Good distance control, though. We'll say I'm very, very happy about that. I think here again we're gonna go aggressive. We're gonna go aggressive. That way it just doesn't have all that much time to get away from us. Now, obviously, if we miss it, like, then we're screwed. But I don't think we can really afford to play with that defensive mindset. New favorite streamer? It's not. Oh, sorry to hear that, Brance. Maybe one day I'll be somebody's favorite streamer. Maybe even yours. All right, 48. I think it lands probably somewhere in here, but the release is what's gonna get us in trouble. So just like loft it with backspin into the wind and play it outside to the right so that it can just like drift back left to right. That's a nice, yeah. We're on a pretty good line here. How's the release gonna be? Probably a little bit low. But as long as it stops, yeah, that's all we can ask for. That is all we can ask for. Up and into the right. Good stuff. Good stuff. 4 under through 6. So these first couple of holes, both rounds now have been fairly kind to us. Now it's really all going to be about how can we play the middle section of holes. Now I gotta be mindful here. We're quite downhill and into wind. It's very firm fairways. So like obviously I want to take the aggro line here. But I also don't want to end up in the rough. So I'm going to play some fade into the wind. And hope it's enough to like land it short enough, land it soft enough. So that the very firm fairway doesn't take us out the back. And I think we've done it. Ooh. All right, last time we left ourselves with a wedge that we were happy about, I like hit the ball so hard. So we're gonna not do that this time, you know? We're just gonna try and take it a little bit smoother. Little bit steadier. Nice and easy. Still a little bit fast, but I didn't shank it this time, so we got that going for us. That wind started to turn a little bit into our face, and I didn't compensate enough for it. Little bit drifty left to right, and then like at the hole fairly flat. Even looks like it goes the other way. So we'll play at the hole to be pretty steady. Fairly flat behind. Love that. Love that. Good start. Okay, I think again we can just like, I think we're just taking this around the tree. Around the tree and down, bound this into the fairway, give ourselves a pitch shot. I know we're still not like the best at pitch shots, but the more that we give ourselves the opportunity to hit them, I think the better it's gonna play out for us in the long run. So this is gonna carry a little bit long, right? So we've got to take a few yards off. Then you make sure that you hit it with some breaks in addition to make sure you hit the hop and the stop. Been pulling these pitches a little bit. But our distance control on him has been good, so like I'm happy with that. Just have to find that swing plane on these shots and stop leaving ourselves the extra distance to the left. All right, slightly uphill, but it's breaking, so we have to make sure, like, just have to make sure that we're giving this enough. Starts that inside line. it turns over, and it's at the end where the break is really gonna matter. Ah! It's not quite enough. It's not quite. All right, not a bad read, but do hate to leave it on the low side. 175, 170. Wind's gonna leave us a couple yards short. So long as it's playing on the higher end here of the medium winds. If it plays, I mean, that's in here. I'm actually gonna, I think I'm gonna play the 8-iron with some D-loft. I think we have to cut the wind just a little bit. Little push slow. Not a bad call. Doesn't quite feed back around. But I mean, even, I don't know, the misses, I think that means the reads have been pretty good, because the misses have been about 10 feet or so, give or take. Which, like, 10 feet is a very dangerous spot. Like, it's not a spot that we're a high percentage make from. But it's definitely way better than putting ourselves out at 20 feet, because 10 feet, it does feel like we have at least some semblance of a chance. So how does it play at the start? Because I think that's where most of the break is. I think it drifts just a little bit extra the rest of the way. Come on! Need those. Need those putts. Okay, so again, we go 6 under on the front 9. Now that this tee box has moved back, we get a very different looking approach on this par 4. This is not nearly as uphill. I think the driver, we can probably D-loft, cut it up in. Got too aggressive with that. We're gonna get through, I hope. Okay, maybe a little bit too shot shapey for what it needed to be, but we are somehow alive. We are somehow alive. 141, at least 138. Being this uphill, I can't imagine that this wind is taking us all the way pin high. Maybe close. So just like a touch aloft backspin, so that when it gets us up there, we hop and we don't go too far. Fight. Just a little bit too much release. I didn't want to put the brakes on more than that though, because if we end up landing it shorter, that bounce isn't as much because of all the loft from the lie and everything. I just didn't want to be like stopped in my tracks. So that's uphill, but we get quite the turn, and then it is also downhill behind, so have to be mindful of that. I'm not going to play it quite as aggressively, which means I need to play probably just a touch more break when all is said and done. So we're uphill, but we're also just inside line, like inside line turning to the right, and it dives at the end and a little bit because of where we're at. Oh, I didn't think we had the roll. I didn't think we had that last rotation, and I thought I left it short. Because I knew that I took off power because I didn't want to roll past, but we still underhit what we wanted. Woo! That's a big one right there. Gap wedge with probably about 10 miles an hour of wind at the back. We're not going to get full on that, so let's say about 145. 145 is on, not very much on. There's a lot of right to left movement once you're there, which I think would mean we'd want to play. If this is going to be our landing spot like there, and then we want to play our aim from that point. Kick right. Get toward the hole. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Love that shot. All right, I mean, this again is a pretty standard drive on the 12th. Strike this just right down center fairway. I mean, this fairway is pretty open. It's really just these approach shots are what's testing. 7 yards is 168, so a little bit further than that. But then we get all this wind behind us. I mean, I think the 9-iron, I think the 8-iron probably lands around there. 9-iron gets a bounce and a roll and a little bit of the downhill. Middle of this round, definitely spicy. Definitely spicy. I think a stock 9. I think a stock 9. Got that little bit of extra roll down. All I need is for this first... I just need this first release to get to that hill. Oh, you're really gonna do that to me. That's so mean. That's so mean. So, like, it just doesn't quite play enough. And maybe it's because of how uphill it is. That wind doesn't quite take us to the promised land. Just a slight error in judgment there. Okay. Well, now we're in the position where we have to lag it. We have to lag it. It's gonna turn right to left on us at the start. And then it's the slow drift. And, like, coming down that hill there, it's probably not going to turn as much, but then at the end. So we'll go out here. Oh, we underplayed it. Sit. How's that roll that much? All right, now we've got to make an 8-footer to save par. It's a little bit on that right to left. Or left to right, rather. Okay, good save. That one stings. That one stings, because we've been striking it well, playing well. And just to get the slight miscalculation there, leave ourselves short. It hurts. It hurts. All right, here's the 13th hole. We did not have a good time with this in round 1. This is our only bogey of the first round. But it's a long par 5, 530, or long par 4, 533 yard par 4. Never simple, never straightforward. Always a tough one. But this is our shot at redemption, right? This is our shot at redemption. 209, wind in. U.S. Open par 4 tier, yeah. Yeah, when they turn Pebble Beach, right? They turn that par 5 second into par 4. All right, we're going to play just a little bit of fade up the hill. That's the hope, at least. Try and keep it in that section of the green. Pull slow. Am I going to get a kick left, or are we straight into the rough? We're straight into the rough. Okay. Actually not the worst. Actually not the worst. We've definitely been in worse spots out of the rough. See, not too shabby. So we'll take walking out of here with the par. I think we would have been fine with that regardless, but especially after missing that first shot coming into the green. Ooh, that counted as a push, but the wind is coming off that side, so I think we're going to get away with it. As long as there's nothing crazy on the fairway to kick us into the rough, and there is not. Beautiful. Okay, so pitching wedge. We landed a little bit short. 7 feet. I think it's going to take the first bounce. See, now I'm a little bit tripped up because of the way that 9-iron played. Maybe instead of D-loft, we'll just let it roll a little bit more. So at the end of the day, it is still a wedge. We're still a wedge. All right. Come on, pitching wedge. Show me the light. I cower, yeah. Did not commit to that. That's out to the right. Gotta swing. Gotta swing. Kind of got to the top of my swing and just enough hesitation. Just enough hesitation. A little bit too fast. Ooh. Ooh, how does that get... Didn't think it was going to get that much roll. Did not think it was going to get that much roll. Alright, left myself... Yeah, that's not the best. Maybe should have just tried to play that a little bit safer, a little bit more brakes on it. This seems like the type of putt that wants to just dive bomb you at the start. Like come right off the putter face. Right off the putter face to the right and slowly drift and then dive at the end. So we're going to play it out here. Big saves. Big saves. I shouldn't really put myself in that position in the first place. But you're not gonna hit all of your shots. Just hate to miss the tempo there. 191 wind in. I think that should play a few yards back. So I think when all is said and done with this 7-iron, think when all is said and done with this 7-iron, we should be in a place that we're happy with. Just gotta trust it. A little bit slow I can live with. I can live with that too. I can live with that too. It's not an ace, but it's pretty good. Pretty good. Hey, thank you, Maxivo. How are we doing today? This is a... All right. This is where I think... Bert, what's going on? Vandy, enjoy your lurk. Hey, great. Thank you for the follow. What's going on, everybody? I'm not going to go with, like, I'm not going to go overpower. I think what we're going to do is just try and find the green. I'm going to play the full backspin here. We're just going to try and find the green. Really good swing. This should take a nice fairway kick to the right. This hole calls for the holy hand grenade. Come on, stay up. All right. But Joe, this is a par 4. This is a par 4. So we've got all the benefit now. This just comes down to mostly pace. This comes down to mostly pace. Alright, we've been struggling with those, though, as far as, like, overhitting them, so I gotta play extra off, especially with it being 2 foot up. Alright, I'm hoping that's correct. That's A-okay. Leaving it short, as much as it's always, you know, a big pain point of putting. When you're that far out with that much hill, I'll take a tap in. I'll take an easy birdie. I'll take an easy birdie. Beautiful little baby fade to ride the wind. Let's see what we're working with here. Yeah, I mean, like, obviously sometimes you want more than, you want the eagle, right? You want more than the tap-in birdie, but, yeah, you got to score on the card, so really quite difficult to be too upset about it. All right, so I think 3-wood has to be the play because hybrid, we're just not going to be able to make it work. We're going to end up in this kick out. So we're trying to work with 3-wood now. 3-wood uphill. The lie. But it's very firm. So I think what we're going to end up with is something where, first off, this is going to go so far out to the side. And then it's going to go even more. Then we play full loft. And then I think we have to cut it. And now we hope for the best. It's another one where I just kind of backed out of it. Now we have enough distance, so if we're not kicked out into the rough, like this is at least playable. And as you can see with how that bounced, like there was no way we're stopping that anywhere near the hole to begin with. So now we can probably just take a take a chip shot up and try and put the brakes on it. All right, something to this extent. Something to this extent, I think. Okay, I think a little bit under hit, to be honest. The way that came out felt a little bit under hit, so this is not the easiest of birdie putts. So this comes out on that inside line. Probably just one of the, again, like it dives off, it turns, and then you have to make sure that you play enough for it at the end. So that it's high side riding into the front left. Like can't be low. Can't be playing for the front center of the cup. Like you got to be playing that for the front left of the cup. All right, we made a good call on this one last time. This is a much tighter window than the first round. Yeah, Branst. Playing pretty well today, man. Feels good to have that be the case. 53, 45, a little bit long. I think though 9-iron, even if it's a little long, we've got that. Yeah, I think stock 9. If it's a little long, we've got the backstop. If it plays more, then that's just lovely. Beautiful. I mean, it's what you want as far as the strike is concerned. I thought that backstop was gonna bring it back. It's okay. That played pretty well how I thought it might. I'm protecting against the what if I messed up. All right, fairly flat behind, so I think you can actually take it in a fairly aggressive manner for a downhill putt. But again, this is just kind of keep preaching the same thing. It's gonna come off and like already be off to the races on the inside, right? So you have to anticipate that it's trying to fall in the front right. Ah! Good read, just missed it a little bit low. So we go 10 under, 11 under. Very, very good rounds to start this tournament. Especially for the way that we've been playing of late. Starting to feel a little bit with the confidence coming back. Still making some mistakes, but also making some very good decisions and some very good shots.